We were at Babu Mahal when the earthquake came, you know, the big one. And that's quite close to up there. So you were very north of eastern India up here where, you know, it kind of comes down like this and we were here. Mm-hmm. Falakata was much more civilized. They actually had an airplane that was fairly near us. DC something or other.
DC-10.
With two, as the Indians say, two fans. And you could travel by DC. It was really a cargo plane, but you could sit on the floor and you could get there much easier. But Falakata was much more civilized. It wasn't way off in the boonies. It was kind of far away. It's interesting, at Falakata, we were right up against Nepal and Bhutan and those places there. And when the big earthquake came, have I told you about the earthquake? Anyhow, we were into that really bad. But at that area, it was really good because you're right up against the mountains. And in the wintertime, it was too hot to grow any citrus where we lived. But on the slopes where they grew tea, they could also grow oranges. And in the winter, the Nepalese would come with big baskets of oranges on their back. And we could feed people oranges in the winter. But I was going to say, we were 90 miles as the crow flies, and a clear day we could see Mount Everest up there from our compound. That's how close we were. But Falakata was a nice place. It was not as hot as some of the places. And it was very productive. We grew rice and we grew corn. We grew mustard as something to sell, because the Indians like mustard seed. And we had these, I should have brought a picture. We had these huge fields of bright yellow mustard, and we'd sell the seed and bring in income. And we grew rice, we grew corn, and the marijuana grew wild. We had to cut it down, because the Indians, the Jungli-wallahs, they eat what they call ganja. That's just marijuana.
Did you and your husband start Falakata, or you?
My uncle barely started it, and he got so sick he couldn't stay. So he kind of got it started, but it was all temporary. And we went up there with all temporary buildings. One night we had a big bad storm, and most of our teachers' quarters blew down. The boys' dorm was being built, and it blew down. And it was sort of interesting, because our school was on the Grand Trunk Road, and the tea planters went back and forth there. And one night, in the middle of the night, we heard big rumpus at our door, and the tea planters had been driving home, and the storm had blown down a great big tree across the road. And they knew we had a tractor, and so they came and wanted us to pull the thing off the road.